In this video, we explore how NPCs evolve from rigid scripts to dynamic decision makers through finite state machines. After the era of scripted behaviors, developers sought ways to make characters appear intelligent and responsive. Finite state machines mark the first significant step towards truly adaptive virtual characters. By the mid-1990s, 3D games were creating more immersive worlds with complex environments. Players expected NPCs to navigate these spaces intelligently and respond to situations in realistic ways. Games like Half-Life transformed NPC behavior. Enemies worked together, take cover, and respond to threats in ways that seemed intelligent. This was not achieved through complex AI algorithms, but through a relatively simple concept: the finite state machine. In stealth games like Thief, guards would transition between different awareness states, from unaware to suspicious to actively hunting the player. Each state had its own behaviors and logic, creating a more immersive and challenging experience. Fear took finite state machines to a new level with its next-gen enemy AI. Soldiers would flank, use cover, and coordinate attacks. While it seems incredibly sophisticated, at its core it was built on finite state machines with clear states like take cover, suppress, and advance. Metal Gear Solid's stealth gameplay was built around guard finite state machines with states like patrolling, investigating, alert, and searching. When players were spotted, guards would transition to an alert state, triggering a full response from nearby NPCs. After losing sight of the player, they would switch to a timed search state before eventually returning to patrol. So what are finite state machines? In simple terms, a finite state machine, or FSM, is a mathematical model that can be in one of a finite number of states. It is a simple yet powerful tool for managing complex behaviors. A variant of a finite state machine is a hierarchical finite state machine. The state tree in Unreal Engine is a good example of a hierarchical finite state machine. Let's see what this looks like in practice with an example in Unreal Engine. Here we have a player navigating through a maze. Watch what happens when encountering the first NPC. As soon as the NPC spots the player, it transitions from its idle state to the alerted state and begins firing. This forces the player to move quickly and take this right turn. Now that the NPC has lost sight of the player, it transitions to its search state. Unlike a scripted NPC from our previous video, this character is actually making decisions based on its current situation. The NPC is now searching based on the last known position of the player. This is a key difference from scripted NPCs. These characters have a limited form of memory and can react to changing circumstances. Now, this next part demonstrates how you can still incorporate scripted elements with finite state machine. This trigger activates an NPC around the corner to block the exit, a scripted behavior. But watch what happens next. Once this NPC spots the player, it transitions from idle to alerted state and starts firing at the player. But now, watch what happens when it runs out of ammunition. The NPC has now transitioned to its reload state. It is making this decision based on its internal condition, being out of ammo. Once it completes the reload, it checks if the player is still visible, and since they are, transitions back to the alerted state and resumes firing. These state transitions create behavior that feels responsive and intelligent. The key difference from purely scripted NPCs is that these characters don't follow a predetermined sequence. Their behavior emerges from their current state and the conditions they perceive. This creates much more dynamic and unpredictable gameplay. Finite state machines brought significant advantages over scripted NPCs. They allowed characters to adapt to player actions and create the illusion of decision making. They were also easy to visualize, implement, and debug. But finite state machines also had limitations. As behaviors became more complex, state machines could balloon out of control, a problem called state explosion. With too many states and transitions, they became difficult to manage. Finite state machines also struggled with handling parallel behaviors. For example, an NPC might need to be in both combat and low health states simultaneously. Managing these overlapping states could be challenging. And while finite state machines could handle anticipated scenarios, they often failed in edge cases. When placed in unexpected situations, NPCs might get stuck in inappropriate states or transition erroneously between states, leading to those bizarre AI behaviors players love to share online. As games grew more complex, developers needed a more sophisticated approach. The answer came in the form of behavior trees, a hierarchical structure that could handle much more complex decision making while avoiding state explosion. In the next video, we will explore how behavior trees revolutionized game AI, allowing NPCs to evaluate multiple conditions, prioritize goals, and create truly sophisticated behaviors that could adapt to almost any situation. Share your thoughts on this in the comments. See you in the next one.